Sad news emerging today about the death of Alfonso Buller. Deepest sympathy from me to his family and many friends. He made a huge cultural impact on music, art and culture, all the stuff that we talk about on this channel. His influence was felt from everywhere from the 1970s, 80s, 90s and 2000s. Manchester vibes in the area, that phrase is the phrase he coined back in the day. Mvita was his crew, and it's just a really sad moment, not just for Mancunians, but for wider culture as a whole. If it wasn't for Alfonso Buller, the way that people walk, talk and dress would be completely different. If you look at the likes of Ian Brown, Shaun Ryder, Liam Gallagher, you will see the influence of Alfonso Buller on their personas, not just their stage personas, but their actual personas, because Alfonso Buller made an impact personally on these frontmen of popular bands and so on and so forth, not just in Manchester, but wider afield as well. A hugely influential figure on the rave scene in particular, and even pre-rave, even pre-rave culture, people who knew Alfonso would say he was famous anyway. He was famous locally anyway because of his extreme charisma that he had. He was magnetic and exude the kind of Mancunian swagger that you see on people today. As I say, influence not just what we listen to and the way we dress and the way we walk and talk, but also an attitude to life that I think he brought to the party. There's not much I can say really, because I met Alfonso twice, once at the recreation of the Hacienda for the movie 24 Hour Party People, where he was obviously there, and another time I met him in Manchester city centre, and both times he was a perfect gentleman and a top guy. So, but I didn't know him personally, but I am aware of the impact he made on other people, and it was hugely positive. He's told some brilliant stories down the years, meeting Bob Marley in Manchester, escapades in the Reno nightclub in Moss Side, where he used to go as a young man, and his father used to play dice in there with the other elders of the Moss Side community. And some of those stories are like part of the rich fabric of our cultural and musical history. And I'd encourage you to go and see a channel. I'll drop the link below in description, and this is where you should go immediately after this video. Linda Brogan, a brilliant artist in Manchester, did an exhibition called Excavating the Reno, where she and other people, including Alfonso Buller, actually dug up this long gone but massively influential nightclub called the Reno in the Moss Side area of Manchester. And Alfonso Buller was part of that process. And as part of this, Linda did a series of interviews with everybody connected to it. It's a fascinating archive of an important part of British culture, the stories that these people tell. And Alfonso Buller had so much to say. She invited him on at least twice to talk about his life, and that's where I'd encourage you to go. I won't repeat anything that he said here, because it's up to you to go and find it. He tells the story, his own story, in a much better way than I did. I followed him on social media in recent years, and he obviously moved down to Cornwall and lived his life down there, which is about far from Manchester as you can get in terms of the urban chaos of growing up in the city centre to the most peaceful, beautiful and quiet parts of England, but that would have suited him perfectly, bringing that vibe down to the people of Cornwall. And I'm sure when he arrived in Cornwall, he was instantly well known and instantly popular, I would say. So, really sad moment. He introduced Stone Roses to Spike Island. He introduced Happy Mondays at GMEX and others. And he's been at Glastonbury with his crew Mvita, who are obviously feeling the weight of his passing today. But just massive respect and love to Alfonso Buller, and deepest sympathy to his family and his friends. And it's a really, really sad day for everybody connected to him and art, music, culture, anything from the 80s, 90s and 2000s. So rest in peace. Manchester vibes in the area. Lots of love.